Hey guys, welcome to Nomicom. I'm Alex Raymond and today I bring you the GameDev Tycoon review, a proposal developed by Greenheart Games that was released on PC through Steam platform in 2013 and then reached mobile devices. But now, the development studio has released its game to Nintendo Switch. We tested it on the Nintendo and now we're sharing all the details with you. Let's get started! Dev Tycoon is an indie-type simulation management game developed by Greenheart Games, an independent development studio founded in July 2012 by the brothers Patrick and Daniel Klug. The title invites us to live the unique and historical experience in the development of video games in the 80s, where we can create new types of games and even new technologies. Currently, the title is available on PC through Steam, mobile devices with Android and iOS, and last October 8 it arrived to Nintendo Switch. While we tried the game on the Nintendo, I share with you the requirements that you must have in your respective PC to enjoy this proposal. As a minimum, you must have Windows XP Service Pack 3, a 2 GHz dual-core processor, and 2 GB of RAM. Regarding graphics, you need hardware-accelerated graphics with dedicated memory, running at a minimum resolution of 1024 by 768. But as a recommended requirements, you must have Windows 7 or 8, 4 GB of RAM, and hardware-accelerated graphics with 1 GB memory. Regarding the Nintendo Switch version, the studio has developed an interface optimized for the use of the Joy-Con and the touchscreen of the hybrid console. In GameDev Tycoon, we can name our own company, the name of the player, choose the gender of our character, 8 types of haircut and colors, and also 8 types of sweaters. In addition, we can set the duration of the game, choosing between 30 years, which is a quick game, 35 years being the minimum recommended, or 42 years. We can also activate or not the pirate mode, which by not having it on, produces a significant decrease in sales of all developed video games, this being the path that will lead us to bankruptcy. But if we activate this option, we can develop a copy protection, but it may annoy the followers of our products and will receive emails expressing their dissatisfaction. This proposal invites us to reproduce the history of the creation of the video game industry by placing ourselves in the 80s and in the skin of a developer who started his own company in a small garage office, where we can create our own video games, research new technologies, and much more. In addition, it will depend on us and our capabilities as a developer to grow our company and turn into a real industry with employees and a team to ensure creating truly successful games. After completing the initial configuration, we will start the game with a budget of 70k, and with this, we will be able to develop our first video game. We'll give it a name, and we'll be able to select a theme that can be fear, ninjas, races, or school. The first 4 available themes change according to each new game. In total, there are 66 different themes that we can unlock if we make some research. Then, we'll have to choose a genre, being 5 at first: action, adventure, role, simulation, or strategy. Next, we'll have to select the platform, that in the beginning will be the G64 system, an economic equipment not very powerful but very popular, and developing a video game with this system cost us 20k. The other equipment available where you can create the game is a PC and costs 5k, but it's a system that is more expensive for the player to have, which is why it's less popular. Later on, new systems will be added to develop new titles. Another thing we must decide are the graphics. We can choose between 2D graphics or text-based. Once decisions are made, the development of the video game itself begins. The development phase is divided into 3 parts, being Phase 1, Engine, Gameplay, History, and Missions. Phase 2 is focused on dialogues, level design, and artificial intelligence, and Phase 3 in world design, graphics, and sound, which will have an additional cost of 5k for basic sounds. Depending on the type of the game we're creating, we must give more or less importance to a certain subcategory. Therefore, it is not always good to add much of a category that has no relation to the title itself. Once this creative phase is finished, the video game is ready to be released. The first ones to try the video game are critics, and they rate us from 1 to 10, sharing a small review of what they thought of the game itself. Then it goes on sale, and we can see the sales statistics of the video game, which is on a limited time, and at the end, we'll receive our total profit for the game created. We can also check the number of players who pirated the title, and sometimes we get emails from users who tried the game and give us their opinion. To understand on what we fail or what we succeed in, we can make a report, which consists of a deep data analysis, which gives us very useful information that allow us to correct errors and continue with the successes. We will receive information emails regarding the popularity of our company and also about loans from the bank, and even other larger companies asking to buy a percentage of ours for a significant amount of money. It all depends on how the first video game was developed, and we'll always have to try to avoid bankruptcy. Furthermore, other companies will send us different work proposals, such as character design, debugging programs, installing computers, and much more. All these job opportunities will have a deadline to fulfill. Some will be 3 weeks long or more. If we complete the task successfully, we will be given an economic remuneration. However, if we fail, we'll receive a penalty and a small amount of money will be taken from us. In addition to developing video games, we can also create our own game engine, which in turn will allow us to investigate large and very interesting improvements such as piracy, market studies, and many other things. All this will allow us to achieve success with our games. As we are able to develop popular titles that both the press and the players like, we'll be able to invest our money in addition to a new graphic engine, in employees, and even a new office to improve our products, as long as we reach the 500k in revenue. In terms of graphics and sound, the title does not stand out too much, has simple graphics and also a very simple soundtrack, which works, yes, but does not dazzle. Visually, it is extremely simple, where the character is only sitting in front of his computer programming. You cannot interact with it or any other element of the stage. Regarding the use of colors, it is a palette that uses a somewhat monotonous primary color combination, where there is no good development of depth. Of course, it is not a game that should necessarily stand out in this area, but if it were somewhat more developed, it will give more charisma and personality to this interesting proposal. Without any doubt, we can say that playing game Dev Tycoon, we face a real and very complex challenge, where having a minimum knowledge of video game development is essential to not quickly fall into bankruptcy. At times, we must use common sense or logic. That is, for example, if we are in the development phase of a game of musical rhythms with a simulation genre, it is obvious that we'll have to give great importance to the sound and little or nothing to the story or missions. For those with a little experience, the game will be a little easier, but for those new to the industry, chance will take the leading role, something that in my opinion should not be the case. The success of a video game cannot be solely related to luck. That is why we consider that this proposal should have either a guide or kind of a user's manual where it gives us a small summary of the genres of video games, or perhaps difficulty levels, having in the easy level more clues and only some or none in the most complex level, where the autonomy of the user will be total. In addition, the creator could challenge the player in the hard levels, making the maintenance more expensive with higher interest rates, while in the easy level everything has less taxes. We also consider that graphically, the studio could have developed a little more the visual and sound characteristics of this proposal, giving the player a more complete experience. So Nomicom recommends GameDev Tycoon to those players who already have knowledge in the video game industry, who enjoy simulation and financial type games, and who are not too demanding with the graphics. If you got this far and like our video, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell to be aware of all our reviews. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with all your friends so we can keep working to bring you the best content. Thank you guys, see you next time!